Hello there. I'm Scotty, and I forgot to turn the sound up in. And you're not. Continuing with Halloween Horror Month, we are on Tower of Terror, a television movie by Disney. Came out. It premiered on The Wonderful World at Disney in 1997. I actually have vague memories of watching this on TV in 1997 when it came out, and subsequently on the Disney Channel in repeat airings. But since then, it's not on any streaming service, and it hasn't been broadcast at any channel in years. Apparently, this is due to it being co-owned by MGM, which was bought by Disney's rival Amazon. So, yeah. But I have the DVD, the DVD. So, there's that. The story revolves around the Hollywood Tower Hotel, and there was a incident in which a group of people were in an elevator. They went up, stopped at the 11th floor, went down, and disappeared. Because this is a kids' movie, I think they are ghosts, so they did die. So, but a reporter named Buzzy Crocker and his niece stumble upon this, and end up trying to figure out what happened and solving the mystery. There's your synopsis. So first of all, like I said, I remember watching this, but here's the thing. This came out in 1997, making it the first movie to be based upon a Disney ride. Suck it, Pirates of the Caribbean. This did it first. Everybody credits Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, it was the first theatrical film to be based upon a Disney ride, but this did it first, all in all. So, suck it, pirates. Jack Sparrow, the rum is always gone because Tower of Terror took it. I don't know. But yeah. And, going back and watching this, it is very 90s. Even the start of this is supposed to take place in the 40s. I don't know. 40s or 30s. If it's 60 years, this is 1997, so 60 years would be the 60s. No, that's the 30s. 30 years would be the 60s. It was the 30s. 60 years would be the 30s. So 60 years earlier in the 30s, there's this party people are going to, and you see people go in the elevator. We have Mr. Mustache Man. I keep forgetting his name. Carolyn Crossan. Emmeline Partridge, who is a nanny taking care of Sally Shine, the big star of all this. And of course, there is the bellhop, Dewey. The bellhop. So the cast in this, okay? You have Steve Guttenberg, who I saw as an underrated actor. You watch Three Men and a Baby and you think, oh, Tom Selleck and Ted Dancer in it. But what about Guttenberg? He's good. Guttenberg. He was in Cocoon, which I haven't seen, and Lava Lantula, also haven't seen. Though he did cameo on one of the Sharknadoes. He gives him Christine. How did he have that car? I don't know. He's in one of the Casper movies, which I did not talk about this year for Halloween, but I promise I will talk about in Birth Month. I have plans for that. I did. I still haven't figured out the schedule for that. I'm gonna try to change it 4 or 5 times before I start recording this time. Anyway, Kirsten Dunst is here. So, Guttenberg plays Buzzy Crocker, which is what a name. His niece, Anna, is played by a 15-year-old Kirsten Dunst. She's older than me. So, I was 10. She's 5 years older than me. So I'm 36, she's 41. She's 5 years older than me. I was 10 when this came out. You also have Nia Peoples, who plays a news editor / reporter, who is also Buzzy's ex-girlfriend. And then you have the ghosts. Oh no, you have Michael McShane, who I always thought was an underrated performer on Whose Line Is It Anyway, the British version. And he was also Lloyd on brotherly love. No matter where you are. The show with the Lawrence brothers on it back in the 90s. So I knew him as Lloyd. So, and they were airing the reruns on Disney Channel at this time, so I knew who he was. Lloyd, you know. But the ghosts. John Franklin plays Dewey, the bellhop. You have Emmeline Partridge is an actress. I've seen in many things, don't know her name. Don't know who the mustache guy is. But Melora Hardin plays Carolyn Crossan. And of course, the second Morgan from Boy Meets World is Sally Shine. Right. So Buzzy used to be a reporter for the local newspaper, but we find out later, I'll just say it now, that he printed a story about the mayor having ties to the mob. It turned out the video that was given to him was fake, and he was discredited. Forever, apparently. And so now he writes for tabloids and does stupid fake things like, you know, National Enquirer stuff. And the movie actually starts with him photographing a guy doing an autopsy on an alien, which happens to be his niece in a costume. And this actor guy that he got to do this didn't know that. I don't know. Apparently he gets his niece to do all this stuff. I hope that one day I have a rapport with my niece like Buzzy does, because they're like friends. They have a little handshake thing, and you know, I don't get to see my niece that often, but she's not my kid. But I know I have a rapport like that with my son, because it's my son. But Buzzy is visited by Abigail Gregory. Now I like this because he comes home. He tries to sell this alien story to Jill, who is, you know, people's character, and she has nothing about it. So he goes home and he helps. I think it's his landlord, and she's like, "Oh, how's your mother?" He's like, "My mother died 10 years ago." He's like, "Oh, I think I just let a ghost into your apartment." So, without seeing identification, you let some old woman into one of your tenants' apartments just because she said she was his mother. Now, I've seen this on other TV shows and movies before, but this guy's fired. No, we meet Abigail Gregory, played by an old lady actress that we've seen before on many other things, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But if you saw her, you'd be like, oh yeah, her. She explains about the Hollywood Tower Hotel and what happened that day. So it's very confusing because she explains that they were on the way to the party on the Tip Top Club on the very top floor number 12 of this Hollywood Tower Hotel. However, we see them at the party, leave, go into the elevator, and then it crashes. So where were they if not already at the party? It's confusing. Oh, by the way, the song they play is dun 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 dun, and it makes me think of Chips Ahoy from back in the day. I'm like, I want cookies now because I heard that song. And I play it again later. I'm like, man, I want cookies. Come on, give me the cookie now. But cookies. Anyway, itchy nose. So Abigail explains that Emelina Partridge was a witch. We do hear Emelina Partridge, or we do hear the witch, I should say, conjuring the spell at the beginning of the movie. However, I feel that's just an uncredited actress because it sounds nothing like Emelina Partridge, who has a Irish accent, and nothing like who really turns out to be the witch. So they did that to throw you off. And so she explains that Sally Shine and the others, they went up, and they never made it to the party. And she says that it was Emelina Partridge that put a curse on the elevator, and she wants to free them. So Buzzy goes to the hotel and meets the owner of the hotel, Q, the grandson of the great-grandson of the owner and the grandson of the bellhop. who is played by John Franklin. The bellhop is Dewey, who is, of course, Isaac from Children of the Corn. And I promise at some point I'm going to get back to those movies. I don't even know if the other ones are still on Tubi. I think I passed on that. But the ones that I own, I can surely do. But as for the other two, you get Revelations, Runaway, I don't know. But what am I on? 3? I did the first 2. Mostly Wolf Hunting. I don't know. But Q, his name is Q. Because James Bond. He refuses to go in a hotel because it's haunted. Buzzy is, of course, planning on making this all fake by having his 15-year-old daughter play an 8-year-old. I don't know how that was going to work, but she does show up in a costume later, and I'm just like, this is not an 8-year-old or 10, whatever. She's 15. What? How are you going to pass this off? You know? She's matured beyond come on. They're not going to be able to tell. I'm just saying. 15-year-old girl is different from an 8 to 10-year-old girl, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm a man, so I wouldn't know. But I'm pretty sure if I was 10 and I stood next to a 15-year-old, they wouldn't think we were the same age. And I would be. Just saying. Just saying. But apparently he hired an actress to play Emelina Partridge, and we get Claire Poulet, who's played by an actress I can't mention or spoil the twist. But she comes in, and Buzzy's criticism that she's too young, doesn't need an old witch character. But of course, Buzzy is obviously smitten by her, and this goes nowhere. I mean, it goes absolutely nowhere. Like, there's a couple of scenes of him flirting, and then, you know, Abigail tells them that they were identifiers for Sally and Partridge, but not everyone else. So they need the identifiers so they can cast a counter spell to break the curse. And even though they said that, they later just try to fix the elevator. And by then, they don't know yet of the twist. So, I don't know. Buzzy tries to sell his story to Jill, but she's not having it. She doesn't believe in ghosts. But then she starts to investigate it herself. Selfish bitch. Anyway, eventually they decide to go into the hotel. Now, Buzzy says that he's only in it for the money, for the fame, whatever. He explains what happened to him. You know, I explained that. And then he tells Carolyn Crossan that, or not Carolyn Crossan, that's the ghost. Claire Poulet, sorry, got the names mixed up, tells Claire Poulet that he's doing this for the fame, because that's all he can do now. And she's like, what about the ghost? He goes, well, why do I need to help out a bunch of ghosts that I don't even know? And if you hadn't caught on, this is where you could catch on if you're paying attention enough. If you don't catch on here, I don't blame you, because they still build up a twist here. But I'm going to spoil it. So 3, 2, 1. Claire Poulet is Carolyn Crossan, which, yes, is why I mess up the names. She is a ghost. Despite the fact that I believe they touched hands, but I don't know, maybe. But, yeah. Because he's off canoodling with her, you know, flirting with her, Anna goes into the hotel herself and gets spooked by the ghosts, but until she says she's there to help them. And Dewey is the one that's like, you're here to help us? You can help us? And then all the ghosts are introduced, and Carolyn makes a grand introduction. And yes, it's Claire Poulet. Claire Poulet is her stage name. Carolyn Crossan is her real name. She was afraid to use her real name. A lot of people use stage names, lady. I'm just saying. Well, Anna accuses Emelina Partridge of being an old witch. And they defend her, the ghosts defend her, saying, no, she loves Sally Shine. She wouldn't do anything. And then they do the, well, if she's not the witch, who is? Twist number 2. We cut back to the opening gates, and we see Abigail, and she starts going, yeah, she's a crazy old witch lady. She cuckoo pants. Meanwhile, Jill is investigating her. We find out she was in a nut house for 40 years. 40 years. That was 60. So maybe it was the 50s then. It was the 50s because it was 40 years. 40, not 60. 40. That makes more sense. 40? 60. 40. I watched the damn movie. I can't remember. Ow. Many years ago. That's all it says. Many years ago. Anyway, Buzzy says that Q can fix the elevator. Of course, Q does not want to enter the elevator, but he says, the ghosts are friendly. Your grandfather believes in you. Okay. So he goes in there to start fixing the elevator. Despite the fact that Abigail has already told him they need a spell to counteract the other spell. But they think fixing the elevator is gonna do it. Because, I don't know, maybe they lost track here? But yeah, I feel like this goes against what we were told already, right? Like, oh, if you fix the elevator, we can go up. And you always get stuck at the 11th floor, and no one says, well, it's because, after they accuse Emelina Partridge, and they're like, oh, she's not an evil witch, they don't immediately think that Abigail is lying to them. No, they're just like, okay, so it's not a spell, so we have to fix the elevator. Why don't they put 2 and 2 together here? Why don't they really actually use their fucking brains? But no, so Jill starts to do investigating. And she winds up at Abigail's room in the nut house. And at this opportune time, the caretaker or owner or runner of the place gets a phone call, takes off. She starts looking at the stuff and finds a bunch of stuff disparaging Sally Shine. Like, I hate you. There's a Sally Shine doll with her head nearly headless. Nearly headless? How can you be nearly headless? This is like nearly headless Nick. But I gotta do the Harry Potter movie at some point next year. So small. There's so much I want to do on this channel. And this means there'll be more content for years to come, right? Well, I know I did an accent there. But yeah, so Abigail was not as truthful as we thought. And all this would have meant something if you didn't already show us her cackling at the gates. You should have cut that out. You should have cut that out. Let's say, well, then who is? Then cut to the scene with Jill investigating and finding all that stuff. That would have worked better. A little bit of editing would have worked. So is this. So Buzzy has changed his mind. He's like, well, what? She's like, Carolyn is like, well, what about not helping ghosts you don't know? Well, I know them now. And I want to help them. About 5 minutes later, the very next scene, they're at Buzzy's place. Jill shows up and says, hey, I want you to do this story about Abigail and how she, shows all this stuff. He hated her sister. By the way, they find out that Abigail is Sally Shine's sister, which was previously unknown until now. And I never realized that. I'm like, didn't they already say it? They didn't know. They didn't say it. Because they play it up. She's like, don't you know? Abigail was Sally Shine's sister. And the way, the look on her face, her sister, that's how she does that. Her sister. There's some looks that Nia Peoples does in this, especially later, where, like, was she ad-libbing some of this stuff or making her own choices? Because it's almost like, I told her, just do whatever. Just do whatever. So, her sister, just, I don't know. But, yeah. So Buzzy decides to do this story and screw the ghosts. directly after he already said that he knows the ghost now and is going to help them. This makes no sense to me. This feels like, oh, we need to pad runtime because we got to fill a 2-hour slot on The Wonderful World of Disney. We don't have enough. So we got to pad it out. So we got to have him go against the ghosts again after he just said he's going to help them to get fame again. And then he puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that Abigail is the witch, which they all should have fucking figured out by now. As soon as they realized that Abigail's story was bullshit, they should have put 2 and 2 together. But they can't because we gotta stretch out the runtime. This movie's not that long. It's 89 minutes. So we don't have enough to fill 89 minutes. We gotta stretch it out for 90 minutes also. But so Anna and Q go to the hotel to try to, fix the elevator and get it working. While Buzzy goes to work on the story, and then he realizes that Abigail was saying it was bullshit. He figured it out. He goes back to his place to look for the book. The book is gone because Abigail showed up, took the book, took the identifiers, and is now casting a spell, right? To which Anna finds out that she's the witch. She's the witch, man. Which we know all of these, as Janos would say. And because you put that scene in, and but Anna comes running up and tells them, hey, don't go up. And Sally comes out of the elevator. Anna goes in for some reason, and it gets stuck in the elevator, and now they're going up. They can't stop it. Dewey stops it once, and then it starts going in because evil spell. And now Abigail has set the spell in motion. But Sally has to be out of the elevator. Sorry, blank there. Elevator, so we can have this scene. Buzzy read the spell book earlier and said that a spell of passion can only be stopped by its contrary. Broken by its contrary. Which we'll find out. And here's where we get a twist number 3. Sally Shine doesn't know that Abigail is Abigail. And Buzzy says, well, if your sister was here right now, what would you tell her? She goes, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? For missing her party. It's revealed the party was for Abigail the entire time. I love how Q does, oh, the party was for Abigail. Just how he says that. Yes, I'm tearing up. It's actually pretty, it gets me. Oh, the party is for Abigail. And, by the way, a little bit about Q. He's wanted this curse to be lifted because he thinks he can reopen the hotel. So as soon as the ghosts are gone, cha-ching, which he keeps saying throughout the movie. So keep that in mind. But yeah. So the party was for Abigail the whole time because Abigail's birthday is Halloween, which would be very weird. I wouldn't mind being born on Halloween. That'd be kind of cool. Said I'm born in February, where it's always cold. Can do nothing outside of my birthday. Although I had a dream once that we had outside birthday. And then I woke up going, why are we outside of my birthday? It's February. No one be outside of my birthday. What the hell? Hold on a minute. The other drinksky. Scusa. Anyway. Yes, I'm weird. Thank you. So now Buzzy is there with Jill. Keep in mind, Jill has no idea what's going on. She was writing the story about homicidal Abigail, who hated her sister. That was the story. She didn't know about the ghosts. Nothing. And she sees Sally and she goes, trick or treat, right? Again, a character choice, I think. An acting choice. A trick or treat, right? So they're like, we're What are we gonna do? The service elevator. So they go in the service elevator. They realize service elevator. They go up. They go to the floor. They can't get it open. They realize there's a trap door, a service door on the service elevator, and one on the other one. And they're going to. He's going to grab. Anna. No way in hell I would do this. I'd be like, nope, I'm dying. Now I know I'd die either way. If I fell, I'd be dead. But also, if I'm in an elevator, I'd be dead. But I am afraid of heights. So, no. And one of my big fears is I'll be in an elevator. The elevators that I use normally are only like 1 or 2 stories. Right? Like the one here, we have three levels. And then the one at the place that I clean, 3 levels. So it's not that bad. But if I'm in like a mall and the power goes out and I'm up on like the 10th floor, I'll be like, or something, or even, I don't know, even Mall America is not that many. But in Mall America one, you could see out the thing. So that's even worse when you can see. What's worse? When you're stuck in an elevator and you can see out, see how high up you are, or when you're in an elevator and have no idea what's going on the outside. Let me know in the comments below about that, because I don't know, which would be worse. Anyway, so he eventually gets Anna over, but the spell takes over both elevators, plummeting him down. But during this, Abigail and Sally make amends. There's a big glowing light, and then they disappear. And later, I'm going to say this right now, later we see Abigail is a little girl again. So she dead, right? She died. But of course, it's a kid's movie, so they're not going to... She dead. She's a ghost now. She dead. So they make it, and they say, well, if we made it... You know, I would like to Nia Peoples again. They're running back and forth. And at one point, she's like... Because they're going back and forth so many times. Because they go to the service elevator, they go up to the floor, they go out, they go back to the other elevator, then they go to run to the service elevator again, and that's when she's like, and run back. She's great. She's great. She doesn't get to sing a song, no, but she's great. She was in Fame, don't you know? Anyway, also Blues Brothers 2000, which is not as bad as you think it is. So anyway, so they see that everybody else has survived, and so they're going to go up, and they're like, you going to come to the party? They're like, we'll take the stairs. I like that line. So they go up, and the party is still going because it's like a curse thing. So the party is still going, and Carolyn, not going by her real name, gets to sing a song, and afterwards, Mustache Guy proposes to her because they were a thing, which means she was leading Buzzy on the whole time. But again, she's a ghost, so it was kind of a thing she was seeing if he was going to help. But it doesn't matter because he and Jill kiss, so that was a thing. I felt like that was just added in there, or we got to have them get together, even though they hinted they had something, but I don't know. And then the party goes away and everything is trashed because nobody cleaned up. Well, I suppose if they thought it was haunted or if they thought there was a curse or something, they just left it. And no one's been up there. I mean, you could take the stairs up there, but it'd take a while. 12 stories. I think I wouldn't make it all in one. I'd go up a couple flights, sit down. I'm fat, you know. Another couple flights, sit down. I'm fat. It's hard for me to go anywhere. The elevator is my preferred choice. Going up 12 flights of stairs? The hell no. You know? Why? Just why? I don't know. So anyway, we get the line. Hey, the ghosts are gone. You know what this means? And they look at Q and he goes, cha-ching. And then we cut to everyone having a party at the Tip Top Club. And he's opened this whole thing. He has his own bellhops. Everyone is there. Kirsten Dunst is very pretty in her dress. Like a silver white dress. Again, she's older than me. I was 10 when this came out. I've always had a bit of a crush on her. Not now. She kind of aged weird. All that smoking, I guess. But in Spider-Man, Even as a kid in Jumanji, you know, I had a crush on her. All my crushes, eventually, I kind of grow out of it. Her, Megan Fox. Megan Fox is just a horrible person. Britney Spears was another one. She's also a horrible person. As soon as she shaved her head, I'm like, okay, that's gone. But, yeah, so everything's gonna be successful. They have the whole place, and it's running again, and yay, that's how it ends. With the song, that song playing again at the end, and everyone's happy. And then we see, before this though, we see Abigail as a ghost, like I said, and Sally's a ghost, and they kind of glow and fly off. Say thank you. So she's dead, right? Like she died. Like she was probably supposed to be in it. If she's a little girl then, this was 40 years? No. It was the 50s then, right? 50s makes sense. I don't know. But I'm going to give this a pretty good. I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually. Going back and watching this. It makes me want to revisit other Wonderful World of Disney products. But which ones? We shall see. Yes, I already written down one schedule for December, but of course it's probably going to change again. I was going to do theme weeks. That's probably already changed because there's so much I want to do. One thing I want to do for December is I want to do the Lilo and Stitch movies. I wasn't able to fit them in last year because I was doing animated live action. I might still go that route this year, but I did the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. So this year, Lilo and Stitch. It's also 5 movies, right? Stitch. 4. I was counting right. 4. It's shorter, but still. What are your thoughts on Tower of Terror? Leave no comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt right now. Because, yeah. Look. I appear in Big LT's videos, right? Now, this is probably going to air later in the month, but I'm saying this. Apparently, he's getting complaints that I should wear more clothes. I wear a tank top. It's comfortable. Yes, I know. Misa too heady. But you know what? Deal with it. At least I'm not topless, right? I wear tank tops. I will try to wear ones that are like, you know, sometimes I have like the cleavage thing going on here, the hamburger meat out, but as long as I'm, you know, it's covered. Like, you're not seeing my titties hanging out or anything, you know what I mean? I'm not going, you know, shaking my titties around. But I'm wearing a t-shirt because it was a little cool earlier today. I might change my shirt actually before I leave, but, you know. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.